Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We're going to continue on Acoustic Week with the outro of a song from a band. The song is called Allegaeon, and I guess the song is Gray Matter Mechanics, and this outro is called Appassionata Ex Machinea. So we're only going to listen to the outro because the song is probably not acoustic, I would wager. Otherwise, I would have been asked to do both of them, right? I looked up Allegaeon in the spreadsheet, and it says that they're death metal. So having an acoustic request for them is already caught my attention. So we're gonna see what this acoustic death metal ends up being. Let's get into this. Got a little bit of flamenco in here. Yeah. I love seeing the guitar with visible use on it. Clean guitar is just, I don't know, man. Ooh. Yeah, these chord progressions are real nice. I'm also kind of amazed that he's strumming classical style, but he doesn't appear to have the stereotypical like super long nails. It looks like he's strumming with the tips of his fingers and just still getting that precision. That's impressive. Yeah, beautiful use of volume dynamics right there. Alright, so we still have a nice like Latin flair to it. But we've shifted away from flamenco a bit. It's still in the same ish chord progression. Brighter though, a lot more work in the higher ends. Yeah. So is there death metal like that? Cause I would listen to that. There's a lot of empty. There we go. There's a lot of empty space at the end of that video. Um, yeah, if their death metal is like that, just heavier and deathier and more technical. Because I think the spreadsheet said tech death. I would listen to that. I would. I'm sure there's probably some growls in there that would try to get in the way of my enjoyment. I kid. I'm still working on getting used to the growls. Um, so yeah, that was a phenomenal solo guitar work with classical picking and incorporating a couple of Latin ideas, including flamenco, in just creating this beautiful piece. Um, Tons of dynamics there. We saw some really nice human elements to there. Um, like I think he just missed a string near the end, which was interesting. Um, but it came off as like half the volume as the notes around it, and it just felt better. I don't know if that was it looked like an accident as far as his picking thumb. I think it was his thumb. Um, it looked like it was an accidental miss, but the way that it sounded was just gorgeous. It was just this little like volume dip, and I love it. Um, just so many parts of or so much dynamism incorporated into there that we don't necessarily always get in metal. Metal tends to be loud, especially when we're looking at volume dynamics. We might get a soft part, but it's in stark contrast. We have the loud section, we have the soft section, and this one had a lot of variety in uh, volume. We did have sections that were softer than others, but we also had these nice in between parts. Different strings had different volumes to them. And a lot of that just comes from it being acoustic. With digital, especially when you record straight into a workstation, you can equalize everything and kind of flatten out your volume to make sure that everything is at the same volume or however you're intending to, whatever sound you're intending to create as an engineer. But with acoustic recording into um well, I guess this probably would have went into a workstation as well, but it feels like it's sort of untouched in that area, at least of trying to digitally correct mistakes or fluctuations in volume and in tension and pressure and stuff like that. Um, but we end up with a lot of dynamics that are in the middle of lines, being that oftentimes we have three or four strings, it sounds like, and looks like sometimes, vibrating at one time. He's picking with it looked like all five of his fingers at times. Different strings are going to get different attacks. They're going to get different varying lengths of being held out, varying volumes because maybe you didn't hit it as hard as you did last time, or maybe you hit it a little softer than the string before it. Maybe your thumb got caught a little bit. Just the super tiny human imperfections that really create the emotive elements of acoustic music are all present here, and it's just, oh, it's good, right? The music is phenomenal. I really like the ending. Kind of came a little bit out of left field for me. We like 70% of the song is this beautiful flamenco feel where he has sort of a pedal, not a pedal note, but a pedal pattern. He has an underlying riff that goes throughout most of the track that gives it the flamenco feel, while playing melody lines on the higher three strings. And that takes up like 70% of the track, and then at the end, retreated with this faster, more moving section where I don't really know if we have a separation in parts like we did with the first, where we had the floor and then the melody. It all just seemed to kind of blend into a melody sound for that second portion, the ending. Um, but yeah, just really nice chordal work. And like I said, it's a really cool way. I think there's a lot of Latin influence in here, but you can also kind of hear a little bit of his metal background shining through it. It's a nice merger of the two ideas. with the Latin kind of style being a little bit more dominant. Um, so yeah, musically fantastic. The ending, like, I love the ending on its own. It just, to me, it feels a little out of place where it is in the song, but as sort of a display of skill, I love it. Having both of these put in front of me right now, I have a really strong appreciation for this guitarist, and it makes me want to listen to Allegion. Um, Even though I know, I don't know. I'm very sure that this is not what they always play. Um, so yeah, I don't, and I'm also kind of curious how this fits with Gray Matter Mechanics, seeing as this is the outro for that track. So I'm kind of intrigued about that as well. But yeah, it's especially with that really rough tone that introduced this track, which I assume would have been the outro of Gray Matter Mechanics, the final held note there. The tones could not be more different, and it kind of makes me assume the kind of style, especially given what is in the spreadsheet as them listed as death metal. Um, it's just I can't imagine going from that to this and seeing how that works together. But I'm sure, I mean, just judging by the composition here and the musicianship, I'm sure it's phenomenal, and I need to listen to that. So, thank you. This is probably not what most people would expect as an introduction to this band, but I think it's a good introduction for me because one of the things that I love about well, of the heavier bands that we've listened to, the ones that tend to stand out for me are the ones with very strong melodic composition and instrumental composition, how instruments work together and create varieties of moving lines, counterpoint, sound floors, atmosphere, all of this stuff. Um, and that's why I was gonna say that's why bands like this band, I can't remember them. They write like tech no, they write death metal, I think, but with a heavy classical background. Like they even have strings and they're utilized like an orchestra instead of just as a texture to go against the guitar. I can't think of what their name is though. I kind of think they wear makeup too, like white face paint with like black shapes or something like that. Real shame I can't remember them. Anyways, bands like that though that stand out to me that have really strong melodic, harmonic, just really strong song composition as a whole are the ones that I tend to enjoy. And this is a band that, well, this is a song that has shown me some really strong song composition before getting into their heavy stuff. So it has me anticipating that this might be a band I enjoy based on the musical work right here without the heaviness to kind of cover it up a little bit. Because sometimes it is hard to listen to these harsher sounds and really dig into the musical aspects other than the overall sound, the wall of sound, the harshness, the heaviness, all of that stuff. Um, so kind of going in this way, which, like I said, is probably not how most people would present Allegion. Um, it works better for me, I think, in the long run. We'll see. Those are my thoughts, though. This is where you guys come in. Hit me up with your thoughts, your ideas, your comments, if you enjoyed it or not. And I guess point me in a direction of where we should go with Allegion next. There's also a description box if you'd like to check out some links adjacent to the channel. Maybe you want to help support the channel via Patreon. Maybe you want to join the community and chat with people in the Discord. Maybe you just want to see what's coming up on Special Selection. We got a spreadsheet for that. All those links in the description. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UTC, with yet another acoustic 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC with another acoustic track. And until next time, remember to be critical and not cynical of the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.